Hey, how you doing? My name's Lewis. Let's talk a little bit about testosterone. There are some things that people do to themselves that lower testosterone, and they don't even realize it. So we're going to talk about those. I've got about 9 items here that people have to be aware of. I'll start out by prefacing this. Anything that raises estrogen in the body is going to lower testosterone. And the reason for that is because the hypothalamus takes a look at the estrogen level in your body, and the response that it has is if estrogen rises up too high, it will reduce a hormone needed by the pituitary that causes you to create testosterone. So gonadotropin releasing hormone, basically. And when that happens, then the pituitary will put out less luteinizing hormone and you'll lose testosterone. And the reason for that, not everybody knows, but it's theorized that because estrogen is made from testosterone by a process called aromatase, testosterone is the precursor for estrogen. If estrogen rises up too high, the hypothalamus's answer to that is to lower testosterone, because estrogen is made out of testosterone. So if you lower testosterone, you will then lower estrogen, and so that's kind of how that regulatory mechanism works. So you don't want to raise estrogen in the male body. If you do, you'll end up with an imbalance. Your estrogen is going to go up too high and your testosterone is going to go lower. And your body's going to do it on purpose. So you don't want to raise estrogen. But now, some of the foods that we eat that lower testosterone, I'll just start out by saying number 1 on my list is flax. People eat flax seeds because they want to get their omega-3s. Well, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of omega-6s in flax, and a better source would be fish oil. Just go to fish oil. I wouldn't use flax for your omega-3s. And the reason why is because they contain lignans, which is a polyphenolic compound that lowers testosterone. It's estrogenic in the body. So use fish oil instead of flax. Another thing is licorice. Don't eat licorice because licorice, again, it lowers testosterone. There's a substance in it called glyceric acid, or no, it's just glyceric, and but it's a chemical compound that lowers testosterone in the male body. Beer has hops. Hops is used as a flavoring agent it's a flavoring and stability agent in beer. But hops is highly estrogenic in the male body. Hops will lower testosterone just because it's so estrogenic. Soy products. What you want to do is you want to stay away from soy products, and here's why. Soy products reduce testosterone in the male body. I've personally seen people that measured 600 to 800 on testosterone levels, and they dropped to 325 because they thought drinking soy milk was going to be a good idea. Drinking soy milk is not a good idea. Drink almond milk or go to rice milk or something else, not cow's milk. Check my other video on cow's milk. That's not the greatest thing either. But definitely stay away from the soy. Soy will reduce testosterone in the male body, and you're going to find it. Tofu is made out of soy. There are meats for vegetarians that are made out of soy. There's also soy milk. And actually, we shouldn't call it milk. I don't know why people call it milk. It's not a milk. It's more of a juice. It's genetically modified. Roundup is being used as a pesticide on this stuff, and it's just not something that men especially should be eating, because it will lower testosterone in a big way in the male body. It can also, and the side effect of that is erectile dysfunction. Soy products also inhibit thyroid peroxidase, which is going to reduce your thyroid hormones. So if you're eating soy products and you're feeling sluggish, that's probably why right there. You don't need thyroid medications. You need to get off of soy. Some of the other products that inhibit testosterone production in men, one of them is spearmint. Spearmint is just plain estrogenic in the male body, so it reduces testosterone. Lima beans. Lima beans is a phytoestrogenic fiber. It's called inositol, and that lowers testosterone in the male body. Wheat. Let's talk about wheat. And don't even get me started on wheat. Wheat is just a bad deal. It's not the same wheat that your mom and dad used to eat from 100 years ago. This wheat that we have nowadays is genetically modified, and there's a high degree of gluten in it. And gluten has 2 components. One of the components operates on the opiate receptors in the brain and causes you to overeat. It gives you the munchies. It wants to make you continue to eat potato chips and snacks and whatever it is you can get your hands on, rather than just stop eating. And so it contributes to obesity. The other thing is the gluten that's in that wheat also will lower testosterone in the body. The reason why, it's not a direct thing, it's an indirect thing. What it does is it raises prolactin. And prolactin then inhibits testosterone. And that's what the gluten does. Prolactin, if you're not sure what that does, prolactin is largely responsible for the refractory period for men. So if you're a man and you have sex with a woman and you have an orgasm, if you're a normal man, you're going to go into a refractory period where, or also called a letdown period, where you become flaccid and your body needs to take a break. And prolactin does that. You can thank prolactin for that. Most people don't want to thank prolactin for that, because if you have a choice, you'd like to just keep right on going because it's an exciting thing, and prolactin is just getting in the way of your excitement. But that's what prolactin does. And prolactin is increased by gluten in wheat products, and when prolactin rises up, testosterone drops down. So wheat lowers testosterone in an indirect method by raising prolactin. Another thing that lowers testosterone, anything with sugar in it lowers testosterone, so I'm going to put soda pop on that list, because soda pop has a couple of ways of lowering testosterone in the male body. One is because it typically has sugar in it, and that lowers testosterone. But also there are phthalates in the plastic bottles that soda pop comes in. And those phthalates leach into the soda pop, and then you drink the soda pop, so the phthalates are estrogenic and they lower testosterone. So every time you drink a soda pop, it's almost like taking a little birth control pill. You're getting yourself, you're giving yourself more estrogen, and then you're going to lower testosterone by that method. And then the last thing I want to talk about just briefly is fast food. You got to understand something. Fast food is something that is convenient, but it's not necessarily good for you. The corporations that produce fast food generally are trying to make a profit. So fast food, I consider, and I'm just going to call this my First Amendment opinion, fast food, in my opinion, is low quality food. Okay, I don't know what's in the ground up meat. There's probably going to be a higher degree of meat byproducts in there rather than the kind of meat that I want to eat. The breads, they're so bleached and so polished on the buns on these hamburgers that I don't know what kind of process they went through, but I imagine they were so highly processed that there wasn't any kind of food value left in them. So if they were even slightly responsible, hopefully they fortified it with something like inorganic minerals, which my body doesn't even want. But anyway, fast food is convenient, but it's low quality food. And again, you're going to be eating a wheat product, you're going to be consuming sugar in the soft drinks, you're going to be getting the wrong kind of fats in the oils that are used to cook those French fries. I don't know what's in the meat. And when they give you that little sliver of lettuce in there, and so you think, well, yeah, I got my salad today. Well, that's not nearly enough. Fast food is generally not something that you want to do to yourself. It will lower testosterone levels because of what's in those food products, like the gluten in the wheat products and sugars in the drink products. So that's on my list of things not to do if you want to protect that precious hormone, testosterone. And why should you protect it? Because it's the first domino. Testosterone also seems to enhance growth hormone output, and growth hormone output enhances IGF-1 output from the liver. So there's kind of a domino effect going on here. When you lose that first domino, testosterone, you're likely going to find yourself low on growth hormone and IGF-1 also. So then you're going to lose all three of your anabolic hormones. And when you do that, recuperating from damage is going to take a lot longer. Energy is going to drop down. Strength is going to drop down. You end up with a whole host of other problems. And there are many, many things that are linked to lowered testosterone, like dementia, Alzheimer's. You don't want to get that one. Heart disease, cancer, they've all been linked to lowered testosterone. So you want to protect your testosterone levels as much as you can for as long as you can. One way to do it, time machine. I've harped about it before. It's true, the time machine. I've seen it personally take testosterone levels up 300 to 400% in men that need it. The other way is to don't sabotage yourself. Don't eat foods that ruin your testosterone production. That's my list of 9 right there.